What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's all tea, all shade Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. So the show has finally aired after being in the works now for about 2 years. The show's premiered tonight on Bravo, and I must say, for the series premiere, I will give Salt Lake City and the Salt Lake City Housewives a C plus. A C plus. It was cute. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that once the season progress, we'll get to learn more of the ladies' personalities, see what the beefs are gonna be about. They gave me fashion, although gaudy as fuck fashions. They gave me fashion, so I was here for that. They gave me, the rich bitch shit. They gave me just enough cattiness. It was cute. It was cute. But we're gonna see how everything goes. So far, I'm liking Mary, even though Mary said something really fucked up on tonight's episode. I'm liking Mary and her fucked up fashions and her fucked up hair. And I like Whitney. Whitney seems like the sweet one. I like her so far. Jen, to me, is doing team too much. You can tell, like, she studied the Housewives history book on, how to be that bitch. Like, she want to be the star of the show. And she's, of course, going to get her name out there because, she was the antagonist of the show. But she just doing team too much. It's not coming across authentic to me. You know what I'm saying? And the other girls were just there for right now. So we're going to see. But it started off with us meeting Jen, who is married to a black man. I knew that right off the rip by just her mannerisms. I knew she was married to a nigga. So they live in a chalet, honey, a chalet. That means they got show money. So she's Hawaiian, Tongan, and Chinese. And when I was looking at her, I was like, is that her normal face? Because she gives me like a jaw like this, and then her lips are big, then the Michael Jackson nose, and they showed us flashback photos of her when she met her husband in college, and she had the same jawline and things like that, but you could tell she's had stuff tweaked over the years that has made her look plastic in the face, but that's her original shape of her face. And she was much more tanner back in the day than she is now. She's a very unusual looking woman. She looked like that one creature from one of them horror movies that came through the TV. You know what I'm talking about? That little thing that used to come through the TV and fuck your mind up. That's what she looked like to me. She's a very unusual looking woman. So her and her husband, Coach Shaw, have 2 boys, Sharif and Omar. She said that people in Utah think that she's black because they don't know no better. And I was like, I can agree with that. I believe that 100%. Her husband is the coach for the University of Utah. So they got a little coin. She was raised Mormon, but her husband is Muslim. So she left the Mormon religion when she realized that they didn't accept black people into the 70s. And until tonight, I didn't know that the Mormon religion was so goddamn racist. Like, Jesus Christ. I just knew that Mormons was kind of freaky deaky. They was a little weird or whatever case may be. If you're Mormon, I apologize, but that's just what I felt. But yeah, I didn't know they was racist like that too. Like, okay. So she talks to her son Omar about girls and tells him if you kiss a girl, you'll get AIDS. I was like, why would you say some stupid shit like that? Like, I understand that she was trying to just scare him and kind of like low-key be funny, but that was just dumb. Like, you just have to be smart about what you're going to say that's going to live on camera forever. Like, that was stupid. I did appreciate, however, that their boys were very respectful of them by saying ma'am and no ma'am. We don't really see that on the Housewives. So I did respect that. And her boys were really handsome young men. So we then meet Heather, who runs a beauty lab, which is worth $30 million. They do all the look lunchtime procedures and shit. She's a purebred Muslim. Not Muslim, Mormon, and she is loud and proud about that, honey. She has 3 daughters. She married into wealth that's worth about $1 billion. Her and her ex-husband got divorced 5 years ago. Heather said, she tried to be a good Mormon. She tried not to drink, smoke, swear, but she loved all of those things, including rap music, black men, and homosexuals, but none of those things align with the Mormon culture. And I was like, yeah, Mormons, I'm not really feeling y'all. Not really feeling y'all at all. So then we meet Meredith. and her obviously gay son Brooks, who I also love. Brooks is one of my fan favorites too. I goes up for him so far. And her husband Seth. They moved to Utah 7 years ago, part-time between there and Chicago. She and Seth have been married for 24 years and they have 3 children, Reed, Kylie, and Brooks, who's taken a semester off of college and who beats her face often. And I love Brooks. He's so fashionable. He's so gay. And I'm just here for him. I love him. So Seth, however, is living in Chicago for business while she's in Utah with her store that celebrities like Rihanna and Charlize Theron have shopped at. So Seth says in their confessional that he's overworked and undersexed. And she took that not so well. She was like, that's rude. He was like, well, it's true. And I was like, oh, trouble in paradise here. They're going to have marriage problems, or they already do have marriage problems. That's going to be an issue. So then we meet Lisa as she gets her children up. She's originally from New York, but came to Utah for college. She's Jewish, but turned Mormon. She met her husband, John, through her older sister, who she thinks had a crush on him at the time. They've been married for 16 years and have 2 sons, Jack, who's 15, and Henry, who's 7. She has a luxury marketing company, and her husband have several liquor brands. Lisa says, I'm sure other Mormons care that I own a tequila business, but I don't. And I was like, bitch, I'm here for that read, and I live for it. She don't cook, she don't clean, but let me tell you, she got this ring. She makes that very much clear. So far, I don't know how I feel about Lisa. I'm on the fence with her, but we're going to see as the season progresses how I feel about her. So we then see Jen in her Mary J. Blige inspired outfit and her assistant number 1, go to Heather's beauty lab to get some Botox under them sweaty pits of hers because she has been, a little moist underneath there. But child, the outfit she had on, it was fabulous, but it was so much. It was so much going on. It was just like, this should not work at all. And it really didn't work together. But it was just like, okay, bitch, we get it, bitch. You and your nigga got a coin. So she loves Heather. She said as soon as she met Heather, Heather was rapping, to her and shit, loving rap music. So, she was down with it. So Jen tells Heather that she wants to throw Meredith a Studio 54 inspired birthday party with male strippers. And Heather was like, you think she gonna really like that? Because Meredith is not really that girl. She laid back, she classy. That ain't really her. But we realized at that point that this party ain't even for Meredith. It's really for Jen ass. So then we meet Whitney on her wedding day. They had an outdoors wedding. I hate that she had to walk down the aisle in a fur coat. I just thought that was so declassé. I just didn't like it. So she, however, is remarrying her older husband, Justin, who's 18 years older than her. They met because she used to work with him, and they both were married at the time when they started having an affair, child. And the affair caused them to get excommunicated from the church, Jesus. But their family and friends didn't believe in their relationship. Nobody supported them. But they end up having 2 children with each other. And she says that their family and friends are just starting to come around. Child, that's a story for your ass. They need to write a motherfucking book because that is messy. But they ain't the only messy ones on this goddamn show. So Jen and Stuart plan Meredith's party, which is, like I said, for her too. Lisa goes to see Meredith at her home, and Jen arrives in some sandal heels, child, while it's snow everywhere on the ground, and a cocktail dress. Once again, doing team too much for the camera. Like, you're going over her house to film a scene. Why do you have on a aluminum foil dress and heels that tie around your ankle and it's snow outside? Like, girl, like, you supposed to look cute in the scene, but it don't even fit the scene. Like, once again, she doing too much, she being extra, it ain't even coming across authentic. So Jen thought that Meredith was bougie when they first met. And I don't get bougie from Meredith. Like, I don't really get anything from Meredith yet. What I do get from Lisa is bitchy vibes. Like, she think that she that bitch because she from New York. And it's like, girl, sit down, have several. So Jen tells Lisa that Heather said that they have history from college, but Lisa says she don't remember Heather, but she thinks that she was like a good time girl, a party girl, used to pull up her top and shit, woo, 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 flash and shit. So Heather, Jen was looking at her like, okay, bitch, well, you know I'm going back and running this tea back to Heather. And I can see Lisa being that girl where she probably was cool with Heather back in school, but like it was like some pity shit for him because Heather's not an ugly woman, but she's not really that cute neither. She's plus size, so I can see Lisa like, feeling like, I don't want to be associated with her because she ain't on her level type shit. So if that is the case, I don't know if I'm feeling Lisa. So Mary and her friends, Louboutin boots and her colorful outfit child, meet up with Whitney. And this is when we meet Mary. Mary is the only black girl on the cast. Whitney thinks that Mary is so fabulous because, Mary is into the labels. She got Dolce & Gabbana. She got Dior. She got Fendi. She got Valentino. But she don't know how to put the shit together, child. Mary walking around here dressed like she Punky Brewster, bitch. Like she got dressed in the dark. Like, child, I was like... The pieces are cute, but once again, you don't know how to put them together. I can see why Mary and Jean used to be cool because they both country ass bitches. So, Mary has been married 21 years to her step granddaddy. Her step granddaddy. Her step granddaddy. I don't really know what to think about that, how to feel about it. Where they do that at? What in the sister wives? What in the incest? I mean, I know they're not kin, but that's disgusting. But it's more to it, I believe. So Mary says, it was kind of an arranged marriage in her confessional. Meanwhile, she's stuttering all over the place. Girl, you had 21 years to figure out whatever lie you was going to tell about why you married your grandmama husband. She said it was in my grandmama's will. So I put two and two together and feel like her grandmama put a stipulation there in order for her to have that church, she had to marry this old ass man. Or it was going to end up being his church or some shit. It's some weird shit in there, but I feel like she had to marry him because of that. But the fact that she even still with him 21 years later, I don't know if she really feels something for this man or is it just like a business situation between. It's weird AF, and I'm not here for this nasty ass shit. Bobby, her husband, and her grandmama husband, because widow she said if anything ever happens to me, I want you to marry one of my girls because I know they'll look after you. Grandmama was weird. Grandmama was sick. Grandmama might have had Alzheimer's, didn't know what the fuck she was saying, and the fact that y'all stood on what the fuck grandma had to say in her last dying days, all y'all niggas is nasty. Y'all some cousin fuckers. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this nasty ass shit. Black folks don't do this nasty shit. I know some of you do, but that's some nasty shit. Mary is not an ugly woman. She just look a little sickly. And her hair is never right. Never right. I don't know who up there in Utah doing her hair, bitch, but that person couldn't be black. So Jen and her professor said the shit is weird. And I was like, I agree with you. Mary is Pentecostal and the first lady of her church that, like I said, was inherited through her grandmother. Okay? Whitney isn't attached to any religion and says she tries to stay away from it. So Whitney tells her about the party Jen is throwing for Meredith, and Mary was like, she won't invite me because she said I talked about her really bad and that she smelled like hospital. She said that woman smelled like hospital. Bitch, what in the fuck? I ain't never heard no shit like that before in my life. Hospitals smell very like disinfecting-y, sickly. They do have a smell, but it ain't nothing that's just like, ugh. But I guess it is to her. So we see, however, that 6 months prior to this, that Jen and Mary were cool. So cool that Mary was borrowing shoes from her and everything. So Mary says that she came into that night all this happened. She was at a restaurant. Jen came into the restaurant and hugged her, and that she smelled like hospital. Jen says, in her confessional, I've been in the hospital all week with my aunt who had to get both of her legs amputated. Mary knew what I was going through. She was just being me. Considering the situation, like, That was something that you should have just said at home to like your husband or one of your cousins, not to nobody that it could got back to her. Like you saying she smelled like hospital. It's first of all, it's childish and it's ignorant as fuck. But I understand where Jen is coming from because like that is a fucked up thing to say when my family member is going through something that is this detrimental. Like, and that's the only thing that you got to say is I come in here smelling like hospital. Yeah, I just left the fucking hospital, bitch. Like what the fuck? So uh Jen, however, does end up inviting Mary, but only because Meredith put her on the guest list. So it's the day before the party. Heather goes to see Jen and her three assistants. Jen ain't got one assistant, not two, but three. And I'm like, for what, bitch? What do you do all day? Because we ain't heard you run down no resume of you having no job. Like, the fuck you need three assistants for? I don't know. So Jen moved all of her furniture out of her house for this party. Her husband doesn't know that she doing all this because he out scouting for the football team and shit. Heather asks her how things went when she met up with Lisa and Meredith. And Jen says, I'm making small talk and was like, I didn't know that you and Heather knew each other for years. And Heather was like, yeah, she probably was like, that's my best friend. I love her so much. And Jen cracked her face like it was the complete opposite. So immediately Heather's face dropped like, so Jen said she didn't remember you. Heather like it's always like that with her, like this dismissal. But I'm like, if you felt that way, why are you bragging about y'all being best friends and y'all been so close for 20 years? But then when she says this to you, then you say it's always like that. She trying to be funny. She very dismissive. Like, which one is it, bitch? So Heather in her confession will say, I think Lisa thinks she's better than me. And I get that vibe from Lisa. Or maybe she feel like you a stage 5 clinger, bitch. I don't know. So Heather said, no, Jen tells her that Lisa said that she was a good time girl, and Heather is offended because she was like, she was a virgin when she got married. She wished she would have been a good time girl doing college. She regret not being a good time girl. I was like, well, bitch, I was a good time girl. I was a bad girl. I was a fun girl, bitch. I was a wild girl, bitch. I was everything, girl. So Heather plans on confronting her at the party. So Brooks is at home lighting the candles for his mom's surprise. Seth had a florist come to the house and do a whole really beautiful floral arrangement for her. However, he's in Chicago and will not be there for her birthday, which is fucked up. And I was like, yeah, these niggas will be the first to get divorced out of the cast. Meredith shows up and she loves the display. However, she would much rather her husband be there in the flesh. She's 48 years old and she looks great for her age, however. So Brooke zips Meredith into this Fraggle Rock inspired dress for the party. I don't know where she was going with them big ass arms looking like Chewbacca, looking like a Pepto-Bismol Chewbacca. That dress was god the fuck awful. It wasn't nothing fashionable about that ghetto ass dress. So Lisa's getting dressed for the party and says it's tacky to wear a short dress and high heels because she's from New York. She gonna wear all black, that's just her vibe, which is cute for you, girl, but don't sit up here and say a short dress and high heels is tacky. Like the fuck. And that's exactly what Whitney had on. And Whitney was the best dressed out of all of y'all bitches. I loved Whitney slick back, her little black, edgy dress, her heels, body on point, makeup beat. Yes. So Jen has on a hot pink dress, one sleeve sequin dress, which was so 5 years ago. Like, okay, girl. So Whitney and Mary arrive. Mary, Jesus, and a Technicolor dream. Mary arrives with a horrible sew-in, okay, that looked like it was sitting on top of her head. A pear green Valentino ruffle dress. Mind you, you can see her black bra strap. Why she had on a black bra underneath there, I don't know. Layers of jewelry. I don't give a fuck if it was Chanel or not. Why do you have on all this jewelry? White stockings. Tights at that. Like a kid. A black glove on this hand like she Janet Jackson or Madonna. A Gucci purse that had nothing to do with this outfit. And black pumps. Help her, Jesus. Help her. And she thought she was doing it, bitch. Thought she was kicking it. She thought she was the best dressed, baddest bitch up in there. And looked a mess. She looked like a bag of grapes. I don't know where the fuck she was going with that shit on. So Meredith arrives to the party with her son and sees the floral wall display that says Sha Chalet. But remember, it's supposed to be her birthday party, but it says Sha, which is Jen's last name, Chalet. She was like, I knew this party wasn't for me. I knew it. Like, I would have went the fuck home. Bitch, you got me fucked up. So Lisa is telling everyone that she loves their look, going around, I love your look. Oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love it. I'm like, this fake ass bitch here. Meanwhile, Jen is still in the back getting dressed like it's really her party. She then makes her grand entrance once again like it's her party. She introduces the Tongan dancers once again like it's her party. This has nothing to do with Meredith. Meredith stand off to the side like, what the fuck is this shit? Heather is talking to Meredith when Lisa speaks to Meredith and tries to avoid speaking to Heather. She spoke to Meredith. Lisa spoke to Meredith. Brooke standing right here. Heather like, hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. She was like, hey girl, she tried to get away from her so fast. It's like, girl, I wouldn't even acknowledge that bitch. Like, you doing too much. Like, you trying. I feel like she tries to be her friend. Like, fuck her. Who the fuck is Lisa? Like, Heather need to calm down, simmer down, because ain't no way in hell a bitch about to play me like that. Like, I'm on some stalker shit. Like, the fuck? They was playing dodgeball, playing tetherball up in that bitch. So, Jen sits by Mary and they talk about this whole she smell like hospital shit. Mary was like, you know, the hospital smell scarred her for life because she was in the hospital. She had to have 12 surgeries for her sweat glands and some shit, and it scarred her for life. And I'm like, what in the fuck? So Jen tells her that this girl named Carrie was the one that told her she said that. So Mary was like, where Carrie at? Where Carrie at? Because I never told her that. So Carrie comes over and Mary confronts her. And Mary was like, what was your point? I sure did say it. You smell like hospital. Shit, you smell like hospital too that night. This is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard of in my life. But I like the fact that Mary stood on her motherfucking words like, yeah, bitch, I said it, and well, who gonna beat my ass? Neither one of y'all. Oh, okay. So Carrie then says, then what was your point of saying it? And Mary was like, girl, you just be quiet. You can leave. You're not even a part of this right now. And Heather was like, you know, let's not be disrespectful. Like, my aunt is like my mother. Like, why would you say that? And Mary confessional, this is what she said that was fucked up. She was like, I don't know what you want me to do about your aunt. Her legs are gone. Why are you getting your legs cut off at 60? That means your diet's bad. Like, drink some water. I was like, oh my God. And not all the amputees about to come after your ass, Mary. That was so fucked up of her to say. Like, that was fucked up. That was going too far. It wasn't funny. Kind of funny, but it wasn't funny. God damn it, Mary. And I was like, Mary, you sitting up here talking about you disgusted by the hospital smell, but you ain't disgusted by marrying your grandmama ex-husband or a widow and his old fat ass. Ew, girl, bye. So Jen gets up and walks off and storms into a room and slam the door and say, bitch, don't disrespect my family. And I was like, why you ain't say that to her? Why you ain't say that in her face? Mary gathered the girls really quick. So yeah, that was the season series premiere of Salt Lake City Housewives. Like I said, I give the series premiere C minus, C plus, C minus, whatever. Mary so far, Whitney and Brooks are my faves. Let me know who you're feeling, who you're not feeling. What did you think about the series premiere? What did you think about Mary saying that Jen smelled like a hospital? What did you think about the fashions? Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.